Hey everyone, we are back for the second recorded round, round 3 of the league. We're sitting at 1-1. We've won the die roll, we'll play first. This hand is good. It's got turn 1 Thorn. What's not to love? Keep. Doesn't have any threats other than the factory, but that's okay. Our opponent has mulligan to 6 cards. Of note, the Thorn turns on the Opal. So we'll play these out first because we can't do that after Thorn resolves. I think it's very likely our opponent's going to have a Force of Will here. Yep. Force pitching Preordain. So they're either miracles or a combo deck. Either way, we're happy that we kept Thorns. Miracles or Sneak and Show, given that they had Force of Will. Tundra. So this is a Miracles build. They're now going to Ponder. Try to find something good. Our current plan with the cards we have now is that we're going to play Factory and cast Amethyst off of Thorn. Chose not to shuffle. The fact that they led Tundra Ponder leads me to believe this was their only land, so they found another land off the top. Cool to note, we have our 2 basics in hand, so we're a little bit insulated against back to basics. Second Force of Will, Force pitching Counterbalance, okay. So we have cast Hymn to Turok twice now. Our opponent mulligan to 6? Yeah. Okay, so there are very low resources here. I'm going to play a... I'm debating whether or not I want to metamorph my factory. I think I'm just going to animate factory and attack. I'll metamorph something else later. Or maybe metamorphing factory is good enough. Keeping this petal around. Probably should have done that main phase 1 so I could pump the factory. I missed out on a point of damage there. But now we can animate 2 factories. And start getting in. So our opponent's on a 4-turn clock, assuming that nothing of note happens. Since we know they're on miracles for the most part at this point, it's funny to note that we're actually completely immune to Terminus right now. Ravager, okay. So we will first animate a factory. Now we can cast a Ravager. I'm going to pay 2 life here to animate the other factory instead of throwing away the petal. I think against miracles, my life total, especially at 10, is fine. There's an argument to use Ravager now to reduce my opponent to a 2-turn clock. However, I think I'd rather use Ravager to insulate against removal, much like this. So My opponent's taking 2 now. I could throw the counters here, but then again I'm completely vulnerable to another single piece of removal. I'd rather just kind of not go all in with the Ravager, but stay immune to spot removal. I might throw away this Lotus Petal to put my opponent on a 2-turn clock. Because that's not a huge commitment. I didn't play the city because there's no need to yet. I might want to play another creature land if I draw one. And now we have lethal through a single removal spell. Snapcaster Mage. Okay. Yep, that's pretty much the best draw our opponent could have. Going to sacrifice the Opal. They are now forced to use the Swords to Plowshares. Maybe forced is a strong word. But yeah, they really need to use it now before damage. Yep. So now we sacrifice Ravager to itself. Put the counters there. And we have a 6/6 swinging in next turn. Our opponent's currently thinking. I don't know what that means. Council's Judgment. Non-land permanent. Doesn't work. Okay. They conceded. So against Miracles on the play, I like Thorns. Vault Skirges are a little bit meh. They just kind of die. Revokers, same thing. They named Jace, but they also just kind of die. Warping Wail is good at countering Terminus. Karns are just good sticky planeswalkers. These ants are mentors and back to basics. So I could kind of see doing this. And I'm going to. Let's submit. Oh, we're on the draw, but either way, I think Thorns are good enough against Miracles. Their spell density is so high that it's worth keeping all 4 in, even on the draw. We're reducing our threat density with this build a little bit, and we're making our Karns very expensive. But I think that Miracles has a propensity to... we're making ourselves less vulnerable to board wipes, and Miracles has a propensity to board wipe. We might want to play a 3rd Ratchet Bomb over a 4th Thorn, especially on the draw. Yeah, let's try that. Did we sideboard that? Yes, we did. Our opponent's going to play first. We have a turn 1 Chalice. Easy keep. They keep, we keep. 7 and 7. Planes go, huh? I'm not quite sure what to make of Plains Go. They can't spell pierce it. So I'm just going to Chalice on 1. Force of Will. Force Pitch Ponder. Okay. I think for my second play of the game, I'm not going to use my City of Traitors yet. I'm going to go Petal, Inventors Fair, and then Ballista for 2. Nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to jam another Chalice, but only after using my petals, or putting my petals in play to play around Spell Pierce. Okay. Do I Ratchet Bomb yet? Now that my opponent can't Spell Pierce, I think so. Okay. Proactive Ratchet Bomb is now in play. We are a bit more immune to back to basics. We're still kind of vulnerable to a mentor. There's the mentor. Okay. I'm going to opt not to play around another Thought-Knot Seer. I should have ticked up this Ratchet Bomb. Okay. Very, very good. I might have misspoke. I was choosing not to play around another Force of Will. Disenchant targeting Chalice of the Void. Such is life. Swords to Plowshares. Ponder. Something. Swords. Nope, I'm just gonna ping for 1. So now I don't gain any life, but I can cast a Thought-Knot Seer. I think I'm going to want to start attacking with the factory. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to play the factory now. Lose the city. And just cast a Thought-Knot. See what we're taking. Snapcaster Mage. A wonderful thing to take. So our opponent had no cards in hand, they just drew for turn. Ponder. It's a good card. Lets them dig to either a Terminus or Swords to Plowshares. Something good. Heck, Snapcaster Mage would be good again. They could Snapcaster, block the factory, and chose not to shuffle. Gross. So they're playing it now, whatever it is. Back to basics. Our lands aren't untapping. But we are attacking. If we had remembered to tick up the Ratchet Bomb on the first turn, we would be able to blow up this back to basics right now. So now I attack again. I'm not going to play this petal. It doesn't affect Metalcraft at all. I have one artifact, soon to be 0. The reason I'm leaving this Ratchet Bomb in play is A, so that their Tundra doesn't untap, and B, so they can't play a Mentor or a second Back to Basics on this turn. Terminus, okay. Cast it. Thought-Knot's gone, they draw an extra card. And now we blow up Ratchet Bomb. Okay. I think the first thing we do here is cast Lotus Petal. We're again playing around Spell Pierce while still minimizing the pain. Chalice on 1. Brainstorm. Yep, I mean, they're not going to be able to brainstorm after the Chalice, so they may as well, right? Resolved, cool. The play we are making now is very vulnerable to a second Back to Basics, but I think we have to just play into that. Upkeep fetch, right, because they knew their top cards from Brainstorm. Fetching of Plains. Back to Basics is, or Council Judgment. Oh no. Yep. That's super painful. City of Traitors is a good land, but we don't want to play it quite yet, because if we draw smaller mana sources, we might want to use them first before having to throw away the city. Still don't need to play it. Actually, maybe that was a mistake, because top-decked Karn would be fantastic. Jace. Gross. Maybe they're, because we haven't played lands, they're going to Fate Seal us? No. Okay. So now I'm really hoping for a top-deck Karn. For what it's worth, I think not attacking with the factory there, we would have been in just as bad a position as we are now. Play the Karakas first. Opponent keeps the card they brainstormed. Nope, they're fetching it away. Going to 5. Brainstorming again. This is slipping away from us a little bit. I don't think it's particularly likely that anything we cast from this point out is going to resolve. Our opponent's seen a lot of cards with Jace, and they have hard cast Force of Will mana up. Counterbalance, okay. That's not super scary. Wasteland, again another land I can just play out before City of Traitors. Seems like they drew something there, probably a Terminus, given that they chose not to cast it. But of note, they're probably going to continue to float the Terminus on top. Another Wasteland. I'm actually going to use this one on my opponent's upkeep, on their polluted delta, to see if I can't get rid of this Terminus. Nope, they fetched. Okay. I am not going to use it on their upkeep anymore. So our opponent is brainstorming again, just trying to probably find an answer to this Chalice, because once they find the answer to the Chalice, their whole deck gets unlocked. Factory, okay. Of note, that's kind of a... it's a 2 damage play, if it gets in there. And I more than likely will just attempt to use it, putting our opponent to 1, if I have the opportunity to do so. Since all of our lands are Lotus Petals, but Lotus Petal is an artifact, I'm going to use a land first. I think I'm most likely to use Karakas. I don't think our opponent's playing Vendilion Clique, and if they are, I'm not going to use my 1 shot of Karakas to return it to their hand. Thought-Knot. That's cool. Should we try that? Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thought-Knot Seer. What you got? Force of Will. Pitching Brainstorm. Okay, if they have a Snapcaster Mage, we lose. But at this point in the game, I've just got to swing for the fences and hope it connects. Snapcaster Mage. AK. Oh right, they have a Terminus on top. They cast it. Well, that's unfortunate. Got really close there. Granted, we're not quite dead yet. We have 3 more Ballistas in the deck. Our opponent's at 2 life. There's a world where we cobble something together here. Chalice is gone, so that's rough. Karn, Scion of Urza is a nice card to have in theory, but all of our lands are tapped. Our opponent is just brainstorming every turn. Doesn't matter what to do, what they want to do, they just want to brainstorm. Ponder. Now they have all their 1-drops unlocked, so that's pretty cool for them. They chose to shuffle. We're going to fight this out. There's a couple % chance we win this game. Blinkmoth, okay. I don't think attacking with Blinkmoth is how we win this. I think that Blinkmoth is better off being a Lotus Petal to try to resolve a Karn. That said, our opponent has used 2 forces, and they have only 18 cards left in library, so it's extremely likely that there's another Force of Will in their hand. But they also likely still have 3 Source of Pleasures in their deck. They have a Plow, almost certainly. They have lots of things. Our chances of winning this game are very slim. Slim to none. But we try. We will continue to try. Brainstorming, probably putting back a Jace. Yep, okay. Again, I'm just going to battle this out. Our opponent has shown no interest in killing us. Okay, there's a Snapcaster Mage. The interest in killing us has now shown. But there's a couple sequences of draws that we sneak out of this. So I'm going to try. And if not, then you get to see a Snapcaster Mage beat me down. Very, very slowly. Discarding to hand size. Probably a land? Fetch land? Plow, wow. Yikes. Let's cast an Opal. Flooded Strand is on top. Maybe they'll fetch it away and lose. Nope. Darn. Well, we are slowly getting beaten down by this Snapcaster Mage. Our opponent's at 10 cards left in library, 9 cards in hand. Gotta discard 2 of them. Probably that Flooded Strand. Yeah, draw spells don't really do much now. Factory. That's a cool draw. It's actually kind of threatening. Our opponent might not be able to attack with Snapcaster now. Because Factory, if I draw another land, can attack. And will attack. Oh, there's a Mentor, okay. Well, I see how it is. So this is probably our last turn of the game. Ratchet Bomb. Would have been nice in play, but currently we can't cast it. Let's see if we lose. I'm going to let our opponent try to kill us. There's a chance they fetch or something. It's very slim. Especially since they just about have lethal. All they really have to do is just cast a couple spells, and I'm dead. Counterbalance is one of those spells. But now I'm learning, like they have 2 counterbalances in their deck post-sideboard. That's relevant to know. Makes Ratchet Bombs really good. That's 7, so we die. Oof. Okay, so for game 3, we definitely want this 4th Chalice, or 4th Thorn. Metamorph is maybe a little bit so-so, given that we can't resolve that many. Like, we have to have things in play for Metamorph to be any good. So I think I'm going to cut the Metamorph. And submit like that. The Ratchet Bombs seem quite good against their configuration. So they have 2 mentors in their deck. Something that we learned from them going through their entire deck and just finding their 2nd mentor at the end is it's very unlikely they have a 3rd. So we don't need to be super worried about getting aggroed out, but they do have 2 back to basics and 2 monastery mentors as cards that beat us. Hopefully on the play here, though, we get a good turn 1 opening, and we can ride that advantage to victory. Our opponent's possibly reconfiguring their sideboard right now, having seen some cards from us, knowing a little bit more what we're about. Still, Stompy is not a super common deck, so sometimes opponents would just want to reconfigure after a little bit. I like how we're configured now. This seems pretty solid. Of course, a lot of cards in the sideboard, like Revoker or Vault Skirge or Metamorph, are technically fine. I just think the cards that we have in our 60 right now are better, so we will play first. This hand is a turn 1 Thorn. I'll keep it. So lead with Opal. And turn 1 Thorn. Okay. Of note, it's going to be a little bit difficult to resolve this Karn, but we can try. We can play a Ravager now. We have 3 artifacts, but I think we're going to need this colorless mana for Warping Wail, so we're going to wait a little bit longer. To blow the city. A second City of Traitors is fantastic. We could actually jam out the Karn right now. However, that gets eaten by a gets eaten by a Spell Pierce. Yeah, who has Spell Pierce these days anyway? Hopefully not our opponent. Now they have to fetch if they're going to do something. If it's a Spell Pierce, that's bad. If it's a Brainstorm, that's not bad. I didn't see any Spell Pierces last game. Oh, Plow. Okay. Fine by me. I will make constructs till the cows come home. I'm going to make constructs and leave open Warping Wail. That's my plan. A backup Karn is kind of nice, but we're not quite there yet. We would much rather hold on to stuff. Brainstorm. So if they play Terminus, we can then Warping Wail the Terminus, which would be really cool. No Terminus, okay. That's plus Karn. We revealed Petal and Ravager. We got a Petal. Let's attack with these guys. Again, I think I'm actually just better off holding up Warping Wail. Brainstorm again, probably looking for a Terminus. We have a Ravager sitting in the exile zone, worth noting. 6. For opponents tapping 4 to cast a Council's Judgment, I will also Warping Wail that. 4. Wee, something. Jace? Verdict. That can't be countered, so I won't counter it. I'm just debating whether I want to use this mana to create a Scion. Or float mana. Now I'm going to make a Scion. I think at this point I get back the Ravager. Cast it. Has to resolve, fortunately. I use this Petal, cast a Petal. I'm going to throw away the City of Traitors now. Cast another Petal. Attack in with this little Scion. And hope that this is good enough. I can play a backup Karn if I lose my Karn. Yeah, I'm just going to not sacrifice anything. There's no reason to do that. Let's +1 Karn first. Chalice and Inventors Fair. Probably get Inventors Fair, yep. Let's attack with the Scion. I think I play another Steel Overseer. This demands an answer. a Steel Overseer. AK. It's not an answer, but it's a draw one. And I think I just passed the turn. Tundra, they have 6 mana available to them now. Supreme Verdict wipes the board. Okay, so first things first, let's put this Chalice into our hand. So we have currently available to us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. This, fortunately, it's cost 7. So 1, 2, 3. Chalice. So that eats the Force of Will. Now we go 1, 2, 3, 4, Thought-Knot Seer, and they cannot respond. Jace and AK. I think Jace is worse for us than AK. AK costs 3, even though it draws about 2 cards. Yeah, it draws 2 cards. I think we just have to take Jace. So, Jace is gone. They have a draw step. They draw 2 cards. They have 3 mana to play with. Passing the turn. It's +1 Karn. Thorn and Ballista. So they give us Thorn, makes sense. Let's cast it. Brainstorm. That doesn't, they can't cast anything now because they only have 1 land. Cool, we got the match. I'll see you all for the next round.